If we now open our index.php file, and after the require once inc config.php, if we require once again, but this time it's going to be ssd directory separator, and we're looking for our ssd exception.php file. And then before SPL autoload register function, we're going to use set exception handler, and we're using an array again. I'm just going to put semicolon here, and the first array index will be SSD, basically the namespace of the SSD exception, and then get output, which is the method we want to call from within this specific class. I'm not sure if I've explained already, but you can obviously call classes with the namespace. We used this use here, obviously we pointing which core class we're using, obviously from which namespace, but you can also call it this way, basically specifying the namespace together with the class name whenever you call the class. It's better obviously to use this use statement because it's clearer, but if you can't, there's any situation that obviously that would cause the problem by using this use keyword here, then you can do it this way as well. Now, what it does, obviously, at the moment, if we go to our browser, you refresh the page, you can see that obviously we get this error, the SSD URL class cannot be found. Obviously, there's lots and lots of changes that we need to do. But if we go back to our editor, and now if I throw new exception, and I just say some random exception, as you can see, I'm not wrapping this throw statement in between a try and catch block. If I now go to our browser, refresh the page, you can see it tells me message, some random exception, file, line, and code, which is basically the message which I've created for the case when we are in the development phase. So if I go back now and scroll up and change our environment to production, which is basically changing this value to 0, go back to the browser, refresh the page, you can see that this custom message for the visitor is displayed. So basically this custom exception handler is to be used to obviously prevent any unnecessary obviously messages to be shown to the visitor when the site has been launched. Obviously, if there's any problem, you get the message that something like this has appeared on the visitor screen, then you can obviously go back and change it to the developments so that you can see the actual message, what the problem actually is. So that's our obviously exception class done. If I scroll down and remove this throw new exception, we are now obviously equipped with our custom exception handler. So any new exceptions that hasn't been caught, they will display the message accordingly, basically based on what environment we are currently in.